Kings, queens, and everyone in between. Welcome back to Gears and Queers. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jake, and we've spent the last week in the lap of luxury with this 2021 Mercedes E350, and we have some thoughts.
And opinions.
So,
let's get into it. Welcome to the interior of the 2021 Mercedes-Benz E350 4Matic, and this one is heavily optioned.
Heavily. It's nearly twice its list price.
The base MSRP is like 55, and this one's at 80, 81. She's got like 25 grand in options, and what a lovely place it is to be in this vehicle today, Jacob.
This is the iconic Mercedes-Benz midsize platform, the E-Class.
Some would argue that this is the bread and butter of Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, so it better be good. We're working with, in this specific car, a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 255 horsepower and
273 pound-feet of torque.
Sounds like solid numbers.
Pretty good.
It's also made it to a 9-speed mountain bike status G-tronic transmission. Let's go ahead and, we always talk about powertrain, but I think it's probably the only part of this car that's a little bit less than stellar.
Yeah, so you're talking about like a 4,000 pound car, which really isn't that heavy for, this size of vehicle.
Pretty solid.
But that's a pretty small engine. It likes to start out in second gear, particularly in comfort mode. And that coupled with a little bit of turbo lag, she can feel a little sluggish off the line.
It is quick, it just doesn't feel that way. The engine is fine, it's powerful, and I think there's some fake sound trickery being pumped in here, but it sounds all right.
At the higher RPM.
It's just, along with this transmission, which gets a little confused sometimes, it's not perfect, is basically all I have to say.
And are any of us?
No. Yes.
So while this car doesn't necessarily feel fast, and the numbers suggest that it's quicker than it does feel, I would say that speed is not the goal of this particular spec.
No.
So this is an E350, that is the base engine. If you want an actual sporty experience, you should be getting one of the 6-cylinder models or even getting into the AMGs.
But I think it's refreshing. Like, this is not meant to be a speed monster. It is a cruiser, and what a fantastic sort of road trip, luxury, comforting, cosseting car it is.
Absolutely.
And it looks pretty good, I think. I think, like most modern cars, it looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures, especially with this sort of modern design language from Mercedes that we're seeing. Very curvy, very soft. I like it. Also, what really helps on this specific car is we have the AMG line exterior package, which adds some darker exterior bits, which kind of clash with some of the chrome bits that stayed around, but that's fine.
Just a little.
You get that front sort of grille treatment with the matrix and all that. We get these lovely 19-inch AMG line wheels. They kind of look like modern bunts, which I agree with, on my car.
The wheel has that inset portion, which kind of almost makes it look like an aero wheel, but it's not.
I like them, but some people don't. But that's fine.
So we got perforated rotors up front and they are large. Great feel. Really strikes an excellent balance between firmness and actual swift stopping ability.
We're also working with lunar blue paint, which it's kind of hard to photograph, but it looks pretty good, especially with the way this car is actually fitted out.
Very pretty color on the exterior and gorgeous colors on the interior. Terrifyingly light ivory color here happening, which extended to the floor mats, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, I really do want to talk about this car's ride, because while the engine and transmission are sometimes at odds with each other, something that always stands out is how good this car rides.
Yes, we do have the optional air suspension on this vehicle, and it is height and firmness adjustable.
It's so good. It's so good.
Very cushy in comfort.
Especially in comfort.
Firms up very well in sport mode, and she can actually throw herself into a corner pretty well.
Yeah, it's very secure with the 4Matic, and it really does firm up in sport. It seems very well controlled in all modes. Every single bump is dealt with in one body motion. It's very composed, which I think we've kind of come to expect from Mercedes.
One other thing that makes this an excellent cruiser is the driver assistance package, which gets you all of the expected things and some additional little goodies, such as automatic lane change assist. When you've got that adaptive cruise control, that Distronic set up, and you're on the highway, not only is she tracking between the lines, but if you hit that turn signal, she's going to put you in that next lane on her own. She is a strong, independent woman.
Let's pull over and talk about interior, because there is a lot to cover.
We got some stuff to say. Welcome to the interior of the 2021 E350 4Matic, and wow. Okay, so first things first, you're probably wondering, what is this interior scheme? And I'm going to tell you, it's a $4,900 Napa leather Designo Macchiato Beige and Saddle Brown interior, and aside from this being terrifyingly light in color, it is a stunning sight to behold, as it should be. We have the $1,300 trim here with the flowing lines, and I think they're lovely. One thing that is just absolutely incredible are these seats. These are the multi-contour seats. They have massage, they are of course heated. We have active side bolsters that hug you and give you a little nudge in a corner when your body starts to lean over. The technology in this car is everywhere, and Miss Mercedes herself has some opinions. Hey Mercedes,
How can I help?
what do you think of BMW?
They're nice. I like seeing them through my rear view mirror.
Get you a car with sass. Let's talk about some of the other things here, because this is almost as heavily optioned of an E350 that you can get. We have the panoramic roof. We have ventilated seats. The Burmester sound system that's part of the premium package. We have all of the driver assistance technology. We've got the extended heating for the armrests, the panel heating here and here. We have the patented air balance system, which comes with your choice of scents. We have free side mood in the car right now, and this one is daybreak mood. Speaking of the infotainment system, we have two 12.3-inch displays, one for the instrument cluster, one for the infotainment itself, controlled by this touchpad, which some people have opinions on. Personally, I think it's fine. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I also don't hate it. A rotary controller like you find in other vehicles, I think tends to be a better option, but this is what you get. She clicks, she can do things and stuff. We have a heads-up display, configurable for multiple points of information. Jacob doesn't like seeing the speedometer up there. He can turn it off. I like it. I can turn it on. You do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in this car, but I'm going to be honest with you, I prefer the built-in navigation system and just doing Bluetooth streaming. With CarPlay, you don't get to use the entire screen, but with the built-in navigation, you do. And this car does have the augmented reality navigation, which will put street signs and arrows over a camera view of your direction of travel, which I think is pretty helpful. Tied to this excellent infotainment system is this steering wheel with this airbag cover that looks a bit prosthetic, perhaps. You could be the judge of that. But let's talk about the real feature here, which are these capacitive touch buttons. So we've got a slider for the volume. Madonna was playing, sorry. You've got this combination of like touch and actual buttons that click, which I think is a little bit different. I'm not necessarily opposed. As far as the steering wheel design and the way that they've integrated that, I'm not so sure that's gonna age well. We've been seeing a lot of transitions in that type of technology recently, and I would rather just have a button, but I'm simple, so. Now let's put Jake in the back seat because that'll be funny and see what he has to say.
Thanks so much, Chris. Welcome to the back seat of the E350. This is not a chauffeur's car, obviously, but I do fit. It's a little tight when I'm actually sitting behind myself. I am 6'2", but it's not bad back here, and you don't skimp out on much that the driver gets. Overall, it's like the feel of this interior that gives me like 75% of an S-Class experience. The buttons, the clicks, the vent shut-off knobs, the volume, like every little sort of like frequent interaction you have with this, like a material in here is very high quality, very clicky. It feels very solid, which, I mean, it should for this price point. But back here, I'm not mad about it. You got this nice microfiber headliner material. We've got a secondary window for this fantastic panoramic sunroof. It's a pretty nice place to be. Chris is obviously the resident audiophile here, but this 13-speaker Burmester sound system, especially with these speaker grills, it sounds pretty good, honestly, especially in surround mode. If you put it in pure, it's a little more like, I don't know, sounds like a typical stereo, but it's pretty impressive. I also am obsessed with the ambient lighting in this car. It is such a vibe. There's like a million things you can scroll through, single colors, multicolors, animations, you can get a welcome greeting, like you can very much make this like your own environment, especially with the white leather. Like I feel like the color like even spreads more, you know, and like the lighting experience of this car kind of transfers to every little feature, so you can actually toggle it so when you change the temperature, whether warmer or cooler, it like buzzes the entire front light strip like red or blue, which is really cool. I'm easily entertained. You know, for a typical sedan, like it's a pretty nice place to be, and I feel like now people are expecting that they need the biggest, you know, they need the S-Class, they need the 7 Series, or they need, you know, a GLS or X7 to get like a nice rear seat experience. And I don't think that's the case. It's pretty nice back here, especially with the cappuccino venti oat milk interior.
Let's go to Starbucks.
Yay! Well, what a lovely week it's been. What a lovely little review. Thanks for watching. I am really going to be sad to give this one back.
Yeah, I'm already plotting a way to steal it and leave the country, but,
You didn't hear that here. Shout out to Mercedes. Thank you very much. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
like, share, and subscribe,
Come on.
or you'll be hexed for like 5 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Good luck. Bye.
Bye.